Alright, I hope you're still awake. If you're not awake, pause, get yourself a coffee, and let's carry on. So I'm going to investigate Tyler's theory a bit superficially, just going to have a look at a few aspects. So when considering objectives, the general aims of CAPS is set out for the ideal learner. Okay, so it doesn't cater for the, like I've said earlier, the gifted child or the child that struggles to understand verbal language being spoken in the classroom. So you have to consider that within your classroom when you have a lesson set out. But we're going to have a look at that later in chapter 4 as well. Just very briefly, as part of the content, and I've mentioned this in chapter 1, knowledge, skills, and values extremely important to consider when we teach in our classroom. So the first bullet point, very important, and the rest is already part of the CAPS curriculum, so you can revise that on your own time. Alright, so you can see there's a repeat on the slide, and that's just emphasizing how important it is to consider a range of teaching methods. Okay, I'm joking, it's a mistake, so please ignore that. But yes, very important, as you see on this slide, carrying on with the idea, what are we using? What's the different techniques that we use in our classroom to ensure that everyone is part of the process? Actually, a very interesting theory on the learning pyramid, and this is only one theory, but I found it very interesting that a child or a student actually retains 90% of the information if they actually teach it to others. So I'm in a very fortunate position because I'm trying my best to teach you some of the principles of curriculum writing, or introduction part of that in OPV 212. I get to keep 90% of what I'm teaching you. Yay! So we had a look at reflective teaching, but I just want to expand a bit on what we said earlier. I just believe when considering a reflective teacher, it is actually supposed to build a teacher up and to help a teacher be more effective and improve their skills as an educator. So even for me, as I'm talking to you by means of PowerPoint, I re-listen to what I've said, even though I mumble or I try to express myself. I try to say less or yes, and or awkward silences, and I even try sometimes to edit what I've said. Now, practically in the classroom, I think it's, oh, there I am again. It's important to really reflect on the way you teach and maybe aspects that you can do better next time. Or even ask a friend or someone that's studying with you to just keep you accountable, or even help you to improve maybe your communication. Maybe you're a shy person, that's all right. I'm not saying don't do education. I'm just saying, what can you do to reflect on your teaching style in order to better yourself and be the best educator that you can be? I think there's a tendency, and we say, no, we are great educators, and in a sense being yeah, in our own world of thinking we are fantastic, and then in reality we need to develop more skills. It's important, know these steps, and you can actually try and name them, all 8 steps, if it's possible. Use a memorizing technique. Yes, all of the best. Right, you've made it. That's the end of chapter 3. Woohoo! So, even though some of these theories and philosophies gets sometimes frustrating or boring, don't worry about it. Remember, once you are in the education system, this will come in handy, and you'll be able, hopefully, to apply what you've learned in this curriculum. So try and envision yourself as an educator and how you would include what you have learned in chapter 1, 2, and 3 in your life. And think of yourself already as an excellent and powerful educator, empowering others to also be the best that they can be.